Hello and welcome to this little tech tip. I wanted to take a moment today and just build something kind of fun for Halloween. We're going to model a Skull and Crossbones. I'm going to start this project by just starting a standard inch-based part file, and I'm going to sketch on my XY plane. Now this particular workflow is kind of funny. It actually starts off really in a unique way. We're going to place a piece of text on our screen. I'm just going to type in capital N, and I'm going to center justify that, and for this project I'm going to make that capital N 6 inches tall. Now then I'm going to change my font. I'm going to use the Wingdings, and this is actually where I get the font for the Skull and Crossbones. And we'll click OK, and I just want to take a moment and center this up, make it perfectly centered at 0. So we've got our initial sketch done. We'll go ahead and launch the extrude command, and certainly inside of Inventor we can extrude text. I'm going to extrude that about 1/4 of an inch and click OK. So there's our initial form. I'm going to go to the back side though. I'm going to create a sketch on the back side, and I'm going to project the geometry of the jaw here. And I want to draw some lines, and in this example, when I draw these lines, I do not want constraints to be added. So I'm going to hold the control button down, and that eliminates constraints from being drawn in our design. Hold the control button down while I click, and I'm just going to draw these 4 lines. About there. And one more right about there. I'm going to add some constraints. I'm going to add a collinear constraint to these outer lines and a parallel constraint to the inner lines. I'm going to use my trim command. This is one of the nice features in 2013. I can simply hold the left button down and just drag and go over and get those lines and trim them back. So there we go. Now, I'm going to use this sketch a couple of times. The first thing I'm going to use it for is to fill up the holes in the face. We're going to come upwards at a join. We'll click OK. Now, the front part of the skull is going to be a loft. Before I do the loft, I'm actually going to share this little sketch. We'll keep that on for a little while. Actually, let me go ahead and turn that off for right now. I want to generate a work plane, the front face of the part, and I'm going to bring that work plane up about 1.25 inches. So there we go. I'm going to sketch on that plane, and I'm going to place a point right about in between of the skull's eyes, a little bit above his eyes, right there. And we're going to generate a loft. And I want a loft from this face to that point. And under the conditions, I want to go ahead and select tangent. Look at that nice skull looking shape. And we're basically going to repeat this on the back side of the part. Now before I do, I'm going to sketch on this face, and I'm going to draw an arc from this midpoint to this midpoint, and then come down right about here. So then I'll add my work plane, again about 1.25 inches or 1.125 inches up. We'll sketch on that and add our point. Now when we add this point, we're going to kind of imagine this as a circle, this little profile area, and I want to put the point near the middle of that circle. When I do the loft this time, I want to select the sketch and then the profile. Then I can use the click to add option and select the point, and we'll change the condition to tangent. So there we go. We get the beginnings of the skull shaping up fairly well. Now, I want to go ahead and share that sketch, and we can get the little pieces of the jaw to come back in. These 2 pieces right here, we're just going to change those that direction. And I'm also going to add a bit more jaw here, that little profile right there. We can simply drag it upwards. Oops, put that back to 0. Drag the line upwards. I'm going to make that a join. And that looks good. We'll add some fillets to that. Click OK. We can also use our heads-up display and just launch the fillet command that way. There we go. Let's go ahead and add some fillets here. And I want to do an extrude with the eyes and the nose. We'll pick that direction and come outwards at a cut. I'll click OK. So the skull is shaping up really good there. One of the things I like to do for the front of the skull is actually use the thicken command on that particular face. I'm just going to thicken it out about 0.1 and kind of makes it a sharp face there. Like, looks a little bit better for our design. In the browser, I could come in and find my extrusions for the eye sockets. And we want to change the colors of that. So let's just go up here and pick a black. And then for, let's see, let's finish up the jaw there. Take the visibility off of that sketch. Let's sketch on that face. We'll extrude that out. Just a little bit, just to close up the back there. And then we can come in here and select faces. One of the nice things with Inventor is we can color our faces any color we want. There we go. And we'll go ahead and add another fillet here. This time I want to use the loop option. So we're going to pick the front face there. This entire loop there. And let's set that up to 0.06. So there we go. Go ahead and change our visual style to just plain shaded. And maybe we'll change the appearance. So let's come up and say the overall part has, I don't know, let's use a diamond plate option. I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe we can turn on our shadows, maybe even our reflections. And we've got a pretty nice looking skull that we can use for Halloween. Let's finish up by, let's go ahead and modify our background. Application options, we'll go to colors, and I'm just going to change my background image. Got a little Happy Halloween image file here. We'll select close. And there you go. So you guys have a happy Halloween. If you get a chance, play around and see what kind of icons in the Wingdings you can model. Thanks.